And we're live. Welcome back to another Thursday night jam with RCJesus, myself, and SASquatch, Mr. Chris from Scale Audio Solutions. I know we had a couple week hiatus, but life's been crazy for me and busy lately and stuff. So it happens, couldn't make it. But we are here now. We're gonna just briefly discuss the H10 Origin because I have one coming on the way, but I know it's been out for a while, so we won't talk about it too long. Anyone that's interested in it's probably already seen it. What's up, Tommy? What's up, Stacy?
Yeah, guys.
And then we'll talk about the new Axial Gilamon, the 8 scale We Rock buggy, and go over maybe a little bit of what I got going on in the hobby room here and shit. I actually got a pegboard thing and some random crap I need here and stuff I might be able to unbox and whatnot. So, tonight's not going to be anything crazy, but it should be a good fun 45 minutes or an hour. Have you seen about the new Axial?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep, I looked at it already. I see all about
Everybody's either loving it or crying about it as expected. Loads of people bitching. This isn't what I wanted. Well, everything's not about you, so shut the fuck
it. I
up.
know, like
Cool new
fucking hell,
features.
people. Look, I'm
Yeah,
sorry you didn't get what you wanted. Ooh,
right.
ooh, poor
Um,
baby.
so it's coming in red and green. It's going to be 579.99. It is a 2-2 rig. It is classified as 1/8. It's pretty big. From what I saw in the live video and stuff, it looks like it's probably around rift size. So, like, you could run it on 10 scale trails, but it's good size. That is a big fuck up on their part, I think, on this was doing 8 scale. Um, but none of these companies ever seem to nail it. They always seem to make one big mistake like that with every release.
Yeah,
Uh,
I saw some pictures of it next to a Rift, or excuse me, a Capra. It's a little bigger. It's like a Capra with two twos.
yeah,
It's a
it's not like a
little bigger
huge
than the
eight
Capra.
scale.
I
That's what
don't
I'm
think
saying. You can
it's
kind of get away with it on 10 scale stuff, but it is a bit big. So, I
it's
mean,
not
it
as
is
big as
what
a
it is.
Rift though. It's
What
it's
up,
definitely
Jeremy?
not as big as a Rift.
I saw them next to each other, and it's pretty
Oh,
much
did you?
the same size. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um, so I might be a little bit shorter because the Rift is pretty damn long.
Mhm.
But so I think a lot of people have been asking for like a We Rock style buggy for a while now, and that seems to be pretty much what this is. So that's gonna make everybody had it. Yeah, Juice Box says if Capra and Rift had a baby, pretty much.
Yep. He read my
Uh,
mind. I was actually going to say that. That's exactly what I was thinking.
so they're listing as like a trail buggy design with durable composite cage. Yeah, like so many of them. There's nothing new or special at all there. What I think is really cool is what they're calling the ASD, which is axial selectable drive, and that's
Mhm.
cutting brakes. Like
Yeah.
this motherfucker has cutting brakes. People have been trying to jerry rig that together and make it work and do it and stuff for 20 plus years now, right? Since super crawlers and shit. There was ways you could do it electronically and shit with some of them, but nothing that ever really worked or was out as a product, right? Um, if you don't know what a cutting brake is, that's where like you want to turn left real tight. Well, yeah, dig helps for that a lot, but then you're dragging your other wheel. So the cutting brake, you can just spin in a perfect circle ease without dragging much because you can just lock the left rear tire. And so that rear tire doesn't want to move, so when you turn left, it just pivots. And same with the right. And I believe that even has the option, as I recall, they said to do it on the front axle. Why
And the
you want it on the
transmission.
front axle? I don't know. I suppose maybe for reversing once in a blue moon, it could be handy. Four-link suspension, of course. Another cool update is they've got the internal shock spring or sprung shocks now. So they're still oil filled, but everything is internal on them, which is cool. That's going to look a lot more scale to a lot of guys building mega trucks and other rigs. I think this is going to have parts that people are going to like to use, even if they don't want the rig, they're going to like the parts. Of course, it comes with all the typical Spectrum RTR stuff, which is just fine. Nothing to write home about, but it works. And like a typical RTR, no charger or battery. Like I said, comes in red and green. I think it's pretty neat. It's also got rock lights, LEDs that have Dylan, fuck off. Two LEDs and the pods front and rear, and you can move them to multiple locations as well. They're not just fixed mounted. So you've got several options there. I thought that was neat that they make it so you've got several options and it comes with it. There are a ton of hop-ups that are going to be available for this thing. Obviously, it comes with a Lexan polycarbonate body, but they are doing what was it? I think they said aluminum. Maybe it was stainless steel. I
Really?
can't remember what they said off the top of my head now, but you're gonna be able to buy metal panels for it if you want. So then you can paint them up and get them scratched up and ding them and all that stuff. They've got brass parts coming for those guys that love the brass stuff and adding weight. All kinds of options. Proline's gonna have stuff for it. So shortly, anywhere from immediately to shortly after it comes out, you're already gonna be able to upgrade it too. I've got some on order from the shop. I know one guy wants one already. Um, the way the steering servo is on the axle isn't the most scale, but it kind of blends in and hides with the axle truss and everything else they've got going on. So it worked out pretty well. I think for like a Wee Rock style buggy like this, it's good and scale looking. Um, let's see, what else are they listing here?
Well, you were talking about the ASD. You can also do the ASD in the trans too, and run it like a
Yes.
regular dig. Yeah.
Yeah, and just have standard dig. Yep. But I mean, dig's been around a long time.
Yeah. It's just kind of cool. You can do that plus the front
Yeah.
and rear axles. So
Yeah, it's quoted here as durable new ASD compatible AT6 transmission. So it's a whole new tranny and everything. You've got, instead of going with overdrive, they went 30% underdrive to the rear axle. So that's cool. 550 21 turn motor. So you're gonna have plenty of power there out of the box. I don't know how smooth it'll be, but loads of torque out of that, I would think. WB12 front and rear drive shafts, which are all right. We got officially licensed Baja Boss tires. I don't know the diameters on them or the widths. I didn't get any of that information. Raceline Avenger wheels, typical DX3 and 515 radio and receiver, 70 amp brush DSC, 682 Metal Gear steering servo, and the Metal Gear micro servo for ASD function. And it is nice that they made that a Metal Gear servo instead of chimping out and making it a plastic gear, which they easily could have. So that's a nice little bonus to it. A little more durability there on the ASD.
Juicebox says he wants 3 of them.
What's up, Bobby? Well, order them yourself. You have a fucking hobby shop. That's your job. Oh, okay. I'm gonna order 3. I think to start with, I thought you were saying he's like asking me for them. Yeah, I've got 2 on order right now. I'll probably order between 2 to 4 more. I got to see. I wanted right away with one of each color, but I'm gonna see what the demand is for it and then order accordingly because you never know with these new releases. They could fly off the shelves or they could sit in it flop. And I don't feel like potentially sitting on 6 of them for 2 years because I've done that kind of stuff in the past before. So I'll give it a few days, see what the hype is. Like we said, internal sprung shocks, it's portal axle, which I'm not a portal guy, but on this, it's scale, you know. At King of Hammers and all that kind of shit, they're running portals on stuff like this. So it makes sense. It's not like portals on a fucking Bronco like the Traxxas and shit like that, where it's just stupid. Uh, and oh, I forgot as well, you can change the colors. So all of the rock lights and LEDs and stuff in it come they're the multicolor ones. So you can shift through several different colors on them as well.
That's cool.
I can't remember how many. I think it's like a half dozen or something. But that pretty well covers it. So I don't know how many people are going to be into it, how many aren't. I think it's got a lot of really cool features. Like I said, I could give a shit about it. You know, I'm not like a super huge Axial fanboy or a hardcore crawler, so it's not for me. I won't be buying one, but it's definitely got some cool shit on it. And I think some people will suck it up. What's up, Bobby? What's up, Chad? How's it going, everybody? What else we got going on here that I'm missing? Baked. I've actually cut back on my weed. I'm barely smoking anymore. So I am completely sober. Just hit my 10th nail hit stay. Nice. Bunch of fucking stoners on this channel. Who would ever guess? So yeah, I don't know. I'm glad to see okay. Yeah, we'll end up unboxing one on here too, I'm sure. Um So that covers that. Anyone got any other questions or anything? I know a fair bit about it from the live video for dealers and stuff from 2 days ago, yesterday, whatever it was. But it wasn't the best live. Sometimes they're more informative and less informative. This one, they didn't show it the best and talk about it the most when they did it, but they got the point across of stuff. So now I guess if everyone's past that, I've got to get up at 7 in the morning, so I'm trying to kind of get through stuff and not take 2, 3 hours tonight. We'll move on to a quick discussion on the H10 Origin. I know that's 2, 3 weeks old now, but it is sold out. They're gone. I
Wow.
I don't know for sure, but I think they're done. Like if you miss the boat, you miss the boat. I think I don't believe you can order more. But again, I haven't talked to anyone at Vanquish, so I don't know that for sure. Don't take that as verbatim. That's just what I'm speculating here. I did have to order one. I think the scaleness of the axle with the hydraulics and all that, and it's all metal shit and whatnot, is really cool. And again, I haven't talked to anyone at Axial about this, but I think this is essentially the Ripper 2 everyone's been crying for 6 years or whatever since the first one came out.
You mean
So
Vanquish,
because
not
I have
Axial,
a
right?
Ripper 1, I kind of had to get this one. But this one has a lot of upgraded features from the original Ripper. I like the body style and the hood and stuff, but I do think the front end looks pretty retarded. The way they molded it and stuff, I don't think it looks that good, but whatever. Then I'm gonna beat the shit out of it and run it into rocks and through the mud and stuff. Anyways, that's what I do with mine. They're not shelf queens like 99.9% of these will end up being. A lot of people were tripping over the price at 3,500 bucks, which hell yeah, that's a fuck ton of money. But for what you're getting, I think it's fair. It's not cheap, it's not expensive, it's just a fair price. When I built my Ripper, I believe it was in the 3,500, $4,000 range. Because the Ripper, you bought the kit, and the kit wasn't dick. It was the cage, the body panels, the lights, a fan, and links. And pretty sure that was it. You had to source everything else from Axial parts. This one is kind of cooler because it's all Vanquish shit. I'm not buying SCX-10-2 rails and picking my shocks and having to buy a set of axles and blah, blah, blah. It's just done. So I am psyched. I have no idea what number I'm going to get. I ordered mine, I think, 2 days after they came out. So I don't know how many are in front of me or how long it will take. I'm guessing it'll be at least 6 months, maybe a year and a half before I get it. We'll see where I'm at in the line. What am I missing? Yeah, they went fast. Yeah, it was a Ripper 2. I'm pretty tough typing tonight. I'm pretty sure it's the Ripper 2. Yeah, for sure, Bobby. And my guess is because of that, Bobby's saying the majority of people are just going to keep them in the box and hope they can sell them for 10 or 15K later on. Because Rippers were going, I think the highest I ever saw a Ripper sell for was $16,000.
Damn.
Yeah. There was a good chunk of time for several months a year where they were 14, 15, $16,000 for a clean
Ooh,
unused one that was built
that's crazy.
clean. Which I thought was fucking ludicrous, but they became a status symbol. Oh, I have a Ripper. Look at me. And now there's motherfuckers that have like 4 of them. I'm like, they did 165 or whatever. You don't need 4. Let some other people in them. Especially if they're actually going to beat the shit out of them like you're supposed to. They're fun rigs. The hell out of them. They don't break. That's why it goes on. Like when I'm on to South Dakota, it went with me on the trip because I knew I could take it all to national parks and go everyone and beat the shit out of it and it wasn't going to break. I wasn't going to have any problem. And it was going to be fun. So I've got on the way. I tried to get the matching 76 serial number. I asked my buddy Dan at Vanquish. I'm like, hey, is it possible? Like, I know it's probably not, but the answer's always no if you don't ask. And he's like, yeah, it's the order it came in. I was like, fuck, all right. But it is red chassis or red cage, black panels, so it's going to match my Ripper. So they can be little big brother and little brother next to each other there. So that's cool. And as quick as they went, I kind of, after a couple days, I'm like, I better fucking order one because you never know. The serial number on it has 3 places, right? So they could have potentially made 999. But I didn't hear any numbers. No one at Vanquish told me any numbers. So I'm like, oh, what if they only do 100 and they've already sold 70? I better get in on it. That's how I got my last Ripper too. Those took a lot longer to sell. I think that was 3 or 4 months maybe for them to sell out. The H10 Origin was probably a week or 2. But anyways, like Bobby said, I think a bunch of people are going to speculate and keep them in the box or keep them the shelf clean, so hoping they make a fortune. And in situations like that, it's not going to be worth a fuck because everyone knows they're out there and people speculated buying them to try and sell and make money on later. So I'm guessing a Ripper 1 will probably always be more valuable than this H10 Origin. but I could be wrong. You know, shit changes. Um, Tim Savage's Bobby. Arcbox showed up and is awesome, Chad says. He said there's a 3-month lead time and they only did a few to start. There will be more, but no timeline to that. Okay, Bobby must have talked to somebody or watched their Tuesday live or something. I haven't talked to anybody. I need to call Dan or Steve or someone at Vanquish and try and get some more details, but I'm not that concerned. So what, you sent Chad a system setup, Chris?
What's that?
You sent Chad a system setup?
Yeah, yeah. I got
Cool.
one. He's doing a build for Arc Park. I don't know the
Yep,
guy's
yep,
name. I think I do
yep.
know his name, but I don't have it. He's doing a build for Arc Park, and Arc Park got a speaker, and I shipped it to Chad to put it in while he's doing the build. It's really cool. I think a Jeep
Awesome.
Cherokee. The Cherokee build?
Yeah,
No. Yeah, I think so.
nice. What are you working on?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a part in for this system I'm working on. I'm hoping it'll work.
Oh, okay. You got anything you want to show off or talk about, or you're up to, or you just dicking around?
Well, if this works, I'll show it off.
All right, beautiful. I've got, I might still need this. I've got here, bam! Can you guys see that? Kind of. Pegboard. So, like, I've got my, I don't know how much I can move this around. If you saw the pictures on Facebook, I've got my shelves here that hold all my gear jammer stuff.
Yep.
And so what I think I'm going to do is I got this pegboard here that's a freestanding unit like this, should be about the same size as this one. So I'll probably have to move stuff around and jockey stuff. I don't know if this is how the room's going to stay set up at all. I may move shelves and desks. We'll see how it works out. I just want shit out of the way and get it started. But so I'm gonna keep Dylan. Do not set that on the fucking trailer. Get out of here. I'm gonna keep parts to make parts, you know, that have multiple pieces, supplies, all that in here, and then try and keep like at least 10 or 20 of each part packaged, ready to go for when RPP or someone makes an order, and those will hang on the pegboard. And then, of course, I'll also take advantage of some of it for my hoard of parts. I probably, looking at the size of it, I probably need a second one because just my personal parts supply in my office that's hanging on hooks is at least that much at minimum. And that's with things like that deep on hooks of 40 different part numbers just in order. So to really get it laid out nice, for sure I need 2, maybe 3, but I don't know if I'm gonna have room for 3 in here. So it might be 2 and we just consolidate like I had it. But we'll see if this is a pain in the ass to put together or what. There's the instructions. I probably won't assemble this tonight though. I'm feeling kind of lazy. I've been busy as fuck and don't really want to build it tonight. All right. And I get this stuff from, damn, heavy duty bolts. I get this stuff from a company called Uline. If
I've heard of Uline.
some of you may be familiar with it, some of you may not. It's some people use it for personal stuff, but it's kind of more of a business supply place. But they keep all kinds of great shit. And it's always good quality. Always have it like the next day because they have warehouses all over the place. And the prices are fair. It's not cheap. You're getting what you pay for. It's not exorbitant either. Another fucking giant box to deal with. Those second giant boxes everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And I also got some other stuff here. This is, yes. Got myself. I was using a little handheld Dymo labeler for labeling the part numbers on my parts. But I decided to pick up a nice Brother thermal label printer that I can just set right up here. This workbench is a Milwaukee that's got power on the end, and it actually, I forgot, it has a soft closed drawer, so it's nice. You can slam it, just and pulls itself in. Works great. So this is going to be the gear jammer station. So it'll be set up on here with the TV and the computer and all that jazz. Another fucking box to deal with. And now I got some other goodies. And one of the cool things about Uline is as you spend money, they have different tiers, 150, 250, 400, 500, etc. And you get free gifts. Like fold out chairs, fold out tables, coolers, cups, sunshades, all towels. Like nothing spectacular, but all handy shit to have that, is usually anywhere valued from $5 to $50. So it's always nice to get a freebie like that. Let's see what's that. Yeah, Uline is very robust. Chad says it's going in a WJ. Which is the Cherokee, as I recall. And what? Grand Cherokee is ZJ, I think, right? Dylan, seriously, fuck off. Always when I'm busy. Interesting the way they box this. Aha! It's funny how it's exciting to open packages of like the most mundane shit, but when you need it, it's handy to have. So I got a few surge protectors with 6 plug, and then they've got 2 USBs on the bottom. Those will come in handy. And they actually, okay, never seen this before. There's like a safety swivel. So you can swivel these things so it's open. Can't
those are cool.
plug it in, can't plug it in. Some rolls of packing tape. Heavy duty ass 12 gauge extension cord with the 3 outlet, and it lights up to let you know whether you got power plugged in or not. So if it comes unplugged, These are handy to have. I have a couple, but I figured another one would be good. And then you never have too many of these. I don't know if that's enough zip ties, but there's some more zip ties. I have loads of bags. These are 12-inch, 50-pound. So these should be, I had 4, 8, and 18, I think. So I picked up some 12-inch, or no, I had 6, 8, and 18. A 12-inch and 4-inch. There's some 4-inch little ones, 18-pounders. And then this time for my free gift, I chose a fold-out table because I figured that would be handy to have for out by the fire pit and shit when we're out there having smokes and drinks and cooking s'mores or hot dogs or whatever. So we'll see how this works. Got 4 cup holders in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's got I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it's got
frame.
Snaps in on the ring. Yep. I've never had one of these fold-out tables, so this is new to me. I bet this will be pretty handy. Not bad for $3.99 after spending $500. What do you got going on there?
Figuring it out.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm not gonna put it all together, but there it sits. It's good size. So that'll be handy. So woohoo. Now the fucking hobby room's turning into a mess again, damn it. On the way, so I can sit back down, put this together tomorrow. I'm gonna get home from the shop at like 8 o'clock. This big ass thing. And I think I was gonna get all fancy. And have like nice IKEA cabinets. Not that IKEA has anything that's real high quality, but and with glass doors and everything to build a wall of like all the way to the ceiling where I could store 50 or 100 cars and display them. But that shit was gonna cost like $4 or $5 grand, something outrageous. And I'm like, who in their right mind would pay this much for IKEA fucking furniture? Like, that's what you buy when you're in college and broke, So I think I'm just gonna get a few more of these racks like I have there because they worked well. What sucks is I haven't been able to find any extra shelving because I've got enough room. I can have again or double the amount of shelves in there and get way more storage space. But I cannot find any extra shelving for that. If anyone knows where to find it, let me know. And that's much better. I can get a big, was it 60-inch wide, 24-inch deep, something, whatever. Big one for the heavy equipment and more semi trucks. And then a couple more of these that are 12 inches deep and like 34 inches wide. So I think I'm gonna put one more right there on that wall. There it is to you guys. And then one over here on this wall next to the window with the big wide deep one along this back wall that if you saw the pictures online where I have the boxes stacked. And that's much cheaper. That's like $300-400. Much more reasonable and will work. It doesn't look all pretty, but I don't really give a fuck. It would be nice to have it look fancy and professional and shit, but I'm not spending thousands for that. That's just asinine. So that'll be the plan for that at this point. Looking at my pegboard, I think I'm gonna have just enough room. So now that I'm thinking all this over in my head out loud with you guys, I think the pegboard will probably go there, and I'll slide this workbench and all the gear jammer bins down, and then the pegboard there next to the workbench. I'll leave that gap right here, or yeah. So I have room to move when I'm working at the workbench and I'm not cramped in with another shelving unit, and then I'll just have shelving units all the way around. And that will not anywhere close to hold the whole collection or all the RCs. It'll still only be a small fraction. But at least I can have, I don't know, 50 to 75 things out and on display and easy to get to and work on. We'll see. All the time, because of course I'm not gonna I'm gonna wait another paycheck or two and before I buy the other racks. So it'll be a little bit. Those lights look dope.
Dude, I have so many new cool things on this system.
Yeah.
Yeah, so grab this, maybe. Can I run it down? Ugh. There we go. Okay. So yeah, this is it right here. So this is for the trunk of the 64 Impala.
Okay. This is the one you've been working on
And
for a couple weeks now
this
or
has
whatever, right?
got let me too many things on the fans. Okay. So it's got 4 of my 1.5-inch full drivers and then full range drivers, and then these are actually 1.5-inch subs, actual true subs.
Yeah.
And I finally got an amp that I like. That's what came today. So
Oh
here,
yeah, we were talking about that a couple weeks ago or whatever. Cool.
this is about half power.
All right. If you're playing it, we can't hear you. Your mic is cutting it out.
It's flipping it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh damn. This has some good excursion to him. Holy shit. I bet those are pretty loud.
Anyway, you can't hear it on this mic.
Yeah, it's overloading the mic and it won't let
It's
you.
absolutely blowing the mic out,
Yeah.
but it works really good.
That looks awesome.
I'm thrilled. And then I got these new LED lights now that I can change them. I can do all the different things.
Yeah.
These are rad. And they're small enough that I can put them in a lot of my boxes now. So this is something people have been asking for forever. And just to whatever color, do all the cool things, like so cool to have that now as an option for my customers.
Yeah, that is super cool.
Yeah, I'm stoked. So yeah, that came out bitching. I'm stoked. It's nasty.
It almost makes me want to get a lowrider, but as
Yeah,
much,
see,
even though I'm an
it's
actual lowrider guy and shit, I know I would never fucking use the thing. So the last thing I need is
well, and I'll show you guys what it looks like in the trunk. So I have a lot of work to do still, but this is the base, idea.
yeah.
But oh yeah, that other project. Um, All in place here. Oh, I see. Bobby is fighting me. There we go.
Nothing's ever easy when you're doing it live.
Well, this is like shoehorned in here too, so
Yeah.
let's see. It's got to get in here just right. Oh, one second. There we go. Now things are lining up. It's a tight fit, but yeah, that's what it looks like in there.
Oh yeah, that looks awesome. That fits sweet.
Yeah, and then
Those
that whole
speakers
back.
are like right up to the fucking trunk lid.
Oh yeah, everything's just like it's 10 pounds of shit in a 2-pound box.
Right.
It's tight in there. But yeah, it sits in there. And it sits in there without having to do any crazy mods or cutting or any of that shit. So that's the other thing that was really big on my bucket list is I wanted like someone to buy it and just go bloop.
Does the trunk lid come cut out and opening on those?
No,
So
you
you
gotta
just
cut it
gotta
out.
score it and pop it out, right?
Yeah, you gotta score it all the way around.
Yeah.
It's this side's open, so you don't have to cut this side, but the nice thing is there's a mold line right in it. So you just follow the mold
Yeah.
line.
What's
And it's
up,
not a
Rob?
big deal. Yeah, so there you go. Trunk is on.
That's awesome. Now turn it on with the trunk sitting on it so we can watch it shake like a real car.
Maybe. Yeah, I can't yet. There's too many exposed leads and shit. It would show
Yeah.
up.
Oh, you don't want it to go up in
Literally,
flames?
what's that?
You don't want it to go up in flames?
I don't want lipos to catch on fire,
No, definitely not.
but I literally just got the amp in the mail as I was coming in here. So that was the piece I was waiting on was this new amp that I found.
I'm glad it worked out for you.
Yeah, the amp was definitely, and I'm still not 100% sure this is the way I'm gonna go, but I'm like 95% sure this is it.
Yeah,
So
good.
it
Yeah, you're not having the clipping issues or anything anymore?
no, yeah, no,
Good.
this amp's a lot more powerful. It's just a touch bigger, and I just gotta shoehorn it where I want to fit it.
Right.
I guess I could show off the other thing I'm working on. I gotta kind of drag it all out. It's in pieces right now. I showed you this. And it's not nearly completed, but it's functional. So I've got a functioning unit to test.
I'm trying to guess what it is.
The trailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So another thing that I know like RC guys are liking are trailers and
Yep.
the lowrider guys and everything too. So nobody makes a drop trailer. So I don't know if you guys can see this very well. I have to move the camera
Yeah,
around a
that
little.
thing's awesome. Wait till you see this,
This,
guys.
I'll move it this way. There we go. So it's flat right now on just drop, chat frame on the ground, dropped. And grab a battery. So I've got it on a controller right here, little key fob. Some of them are acting up right now. I don't know why that one. Yeah, I'm still working on these actuators. I got a couple that are being really cranky.
Yeah,
And
you're
it's
having
just,
issues with the wire connection or something, right?
yeah, it's just the wire connections. I got to fiddle with them.
Yeah.
It's literally just cobbled together right now. Okay,
Yeah,
there
in
we go.
prototype mode.
So that's on its belly, and then there we go. They're all starting to kind of
Now
starting to
that one
flop.
doesn't want to work.
Yeah, I know this one's being stupid. Yeah, they're anyway, yeah, so you guys can see the idea though. It's a proper drop trailer. And when it yeah, I don't know why it was behaving great. And now it's being stupid.
Because you're on the live show now.
I'm on a live show, but it's powerful enough that it'll lift that Impala off the ground, no problem.
Yeah, yeah. I've watched it when it's all working perfectly the other
Yeah.
night, guys, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, the idea here is to drop obviously and then back up. Oh, it really is cranky.
And then you used one of the lasers to engrave the wood, right?
Yeah, so the wood is just a sheet of wood, and then I laser engraved the top. And I've done another trailer like that before,
Yeah.
but this is just multiple pieces. It'll be one solid piece when I'm done. Um, oh man, there it goes. Hey, what's happening?
Hooray! Victory!
It did a thing. This
It
means not
did
all.
the thing.
Yeah, these actuators. Ooh, that's not good. These actuators are new to me, so I'm still figuring them out. But yeah, there's that, and then drop it down on its belly. So yeah, super cool.
Best way to get a lowrider on and off.
Yeah, and these will be covered up, aluminum frame. It'll have a ball hitch on the front, lights, side lights, tail lights, all the things. So, yep, little by little.
It'll be sick as usual.
3D printer bed plates with logos. It depends on what they're made out of, Stacy. If it's like a aluminum plate or something with like a coating on it, the laser will probably burn through the coating. It just depends on what the plates are made out of.
What all can you do? Like aluminum, steel,
It
wood,
won't cut
everything?
steel. It'll etch aluminum. It won't.
Yeah.
It won't even touch steel.
Oh, won't engrave into it? Like,
Not really. It'll like it would clean rust off it, but I don't. If you
oh, okay.
painted the steel, it would etch out in the paint. I
Yeah.
don't think it would etch steel. I've never tried it. I've messed with aluminum. It'll etch aluminum barely after a couple passes. And it's not a cheap laser. It's a Glowforge Plus. It's a powerful laser, but
Oh, yeah, I've seen ads for those glow forges. Works
yeah,
well? You like
it
it?
works awesome. Yeah.
Good.
It's the one it's my school one. It's my classroom laser. So
Yeah, yeah.
um, but anyway, switch my camera back here. Boop. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I mean like I know my print bed on my printer on both of my printers are like a coated spring steel. So it etched through the coating, but
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any problems where the etching is. As long as it's not too wide, the etching's narrow, it should be fine.
Oh, yeah, because that little bit of height difference might fuck with the printer, eh?
That you don't have adhesion where the coating's not at, you won't have the adhesion that you need. So
Yeah.
it'll bridge the gap, no problem. But it's the coating not being there that could be a problem if you have a wide area. That will cause all kinds of havoc.
Right.
So if it's just straight aluminum, like bare aluminum, that won't be so bad. It'll etch it, but it won't be it'll be micron, like super small.
Yeah. What's
It'll
up,
etch in
Jack?
like, yeah, like a tenth of a mil, probably at the most, which is one layer if you're printing at 0.1. So
Oh, is that what they print at generally? Is that pretty standard, just 0.1 and 1?
oh, I see you're saying, Stacy. So it actually infill. Okay, the estetching plates with the logo on the bottom of the prints.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah, I can see where you do that because it would be you wouldn't have to do supports then to do it. Well, I mean, you could do it without supports and do it negative, but the way you're talking about it would be a positive. Yeah, I mean, if you etched out on the bottom and it was a high enough resolution print, the only problem is it would have to be etched pretty wide for it to show up on the print. Otherwise, it'll just bridge over the gap. Unless, yeah, because most 3D printers can bridge a pretty darn good gap. So
Hmm.
etching the plates. Huh. I have to look into that. Because even if you etched, I mean, I can probably I mean, if you really wanted to, you could etch probably a 10 mil wide gap, but I know my printer would bridge a 10 mil gap, so you wouldn't even see it. It just print and just bridge right over the top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a resin print would work because the resin would go down into the etch, but you wouldn't want that on a resin printer. You want it to be as level as possible. So I don't know how they're doing that. I've put stuff like letters and numbers in prints that print on the bed side down, like on the bottom of something for like
Yeah.
just marking part numbers and stuff if I'm doing a multiple part print. But I just put it into the 3D file when I print.
Hmm.
Huh. Curious. I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
never
new one.
thought of that because I would just think people would design it into the print file to have the
Mhm,
logo and just have it printed in.
mhm, mhm.
The curious way to do it, having it etched in and then come through.
Yeah, that's weird. I'll have to look at it. I've never seen it before.
Oh, well, what else we got? You got anything else for the night?
No, not really. Yeah, I'm stoked on this. Oh, ooh, I'm getting back into drone stuff. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I had a bunch of stuff that I got for really cheap. So I'm
Oh, you found a
diving
good
back
cheap
in.
lot or something, did you?
Yeah, basically. Like I don't know if you're ever into the big stuff. I got an Align 690L, two of those.
Oh, hell yeah.
Line 480. Line, no, this is quad. These are
Oh, I
hexacut quad.
didn't know Line ever made quads.
It's big, nasty, gnarly ones.
Okay.
Um,
For cameras and shit like that, or what? Like holding like
yeah,
cameras and
big like
stuff.
camera scan drones. Yeah, I got a DJI Matrice 100, the really high end matrices. Um, bunch of unique stuff. So I have a bunch of stuff to play with now.
Yeah, I've got a unique myself.
Yeah. Oh, I
Oh,
had to
I've got the Chroma, my bad.
a Chroma. Yeah, which is I'm pretty sure unique did a lot of
Made.
that. The
Yeah.
same controller and everything,
Yeah.
same cables. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I've got a bunch of stuff to play with now, and some of my fifth grade students at school are frothing at the mouth because I'm telling them about it.
Bring it in so we can play with it.
So, um, it's all the stuff before the FAA stepped in really heavily. So there's all kinds of cool features they have you can't get on new stuff. So there's all kinds of cool things you can dick around and play with them.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
I
is
never
that
got
down
into
there?
the quads and drones much. I mean, I had the Chroma and I had some Inductrixes and stuff, but I did a little FPV racing with the buddies fucking around with it for fun, but just never got me into it. Tommy, that is a
Yeah.
Sen F350 that's all custom done with a bunch of the 1/10 rod shop parts on it. And I have one of the awful. I have one of the Pro Air kits, the air ride that lifts up with switches that I put on it. But it was that kit is
Oh no shit.
good and it's a pain in the ass. So even though they look cool, they're kind of junk. And so I got it and I was converting it to I built an Element IFS for the front because I'm just gonna make it two-wheel drive and so it lays out on
Oh.
the frame. But I've got the mounts are way too high, right, for the Element. So I've got to throw those out and custom bend some L-shaped, like angle iron style ones to mount it in and it'll go. So I'm like probably 80, 90% done with it. And there it's sat for 3 years or whatever. I have a tendency to do that. You get to that final little fiddly shit, it's 90% of the way there, but you have the annoying stuff to do. And I'm like, fuck this, I'm gonna build something else. I was actually debating when I was moving it, I'm like, I really should just strip all the shit out of this, put it back to stock with the awesome body and parts and stuff, and just fucking sell it because I don't give a fuck about it. I don't even really care if I own it. It's like, why do I even have this fucking thing taking up all this space? But maybe now that I have enough space, it's clean and organized again, and I'll want to start building because I can without it being a disaster. Maybe one day I'll get a hair up my ass and smoke a doobie or something, and be like, let's make the switches work on the Sen. Oh, okay, that must be what I heard on my phone in the other room. Um, yeah, so like it's neat, but I don't give a shit about it, so it's hard to get any motivation. Uh, the problem with the Pro Air is I was talking to Josh, RC every day about this because he has a kit and has done it, used it on a couple things. And apparently, like it uses a fish tank compressor, bubbler compressor, and it's neat, but it's shit. Um, so which explains why he doesn't make them anymore. You have to have every airline like the exact same fucking length. Because I was dealing with it where the front
Yeah.
was way slower than the back, and they weren't lifting evenly side to side and giving me shit. And I'm like, the fuck is with this? Because it really shouldn't matter. I mean, yeah, ideally all your lines you want the same, but if there's little variance, it's moving. But I'm used to 150, 200 psi in a full size car where that air is moving, right? There's a lot of pressure. This is a fish tank bubbler air compressor. So a little bit of difference in pressure and power there. So apparently Josh was like, yeah, I had the same issue. You have to get them like all dead nuts the same and, run just right and everything, and then it'll work. I was like, okay, someday, fuck it. Um, I think I have enough tubing to adjust it and tweak it all. Like I spent several hours on it and did like a nice job mounting everything and routing and all that. And it's just the story of my life. There it is, 90% finished. You will come pick it up then. Yeah, you can come pick it up for like $500. I don't give shit away. Um, but yeah, so maybe it gets finished someday, maybe it doesn't. We shall see. That one is way low on the priority list, so I just got to get in the mood. But I love the way the body turned out. The paint is just the color I wanted. It looks great. All the 110th Rod Shop lights and parts look awesome. But unfortunately, Dustin disappeared, and I don't have the tonneau cover of the interior for it. He still has it. And I can't get a hold of him or anything. So that kind of puts it down too, because I don't have the fucking interior, the tonneau cover for it that I'm supposed to have. But I guess now technically I have the printer over there. Corn messers are coming back to get their RV they've had here for the last month and a half or whatever while they were up north. And I've got the Bamboo X1 there, and Corn Messer has one, so he's gonna help me set it up when he's here next week. So I guess I could print a tonneau cover at least, and then get someone to match the paint and paint it, or maybe even just leave it black. Print it like a soft top one that we had back in the day that were leather, vinyl, or whatever. Vinyl, I guess they would have been. And then if it's black, it looks right. And it shouldn't be shiny. So 3D printing one, that's probably what I'll end up doing to make the bed look right. Because since it's supposed to have that tonneau cover, the bed looks like shit, right? Because you didn't finish paint the inside of the bed. And I've got to cut some of it out for clearance for the compressor box and all that. So it is what it is. But maybe. So I still have you see it, yep, right there. You can barely see it behind the Marlin. That's the RC four-wheel drive TF2 SWB. And I worked with GCM on that one. They wanted everyone said it was impossible to put a scale drive line in. I was like, well, if you tell me that, I'm gonna go fuck you and show you how it's done. So GCM was like, well, if you want to design a scale drive line for it, I'll give you the parts and stuff and you design it all. And I didn't even do it on CAD, right? Chris was laughing his ass off, but he was thrilled when he got all my drawings because I did it as drafting, right? I did top view, side view, all that on graph paper and drafted it with all my measurements and everything. He's like, that was perfect. He's like, I wish everyone worked like that. It was so easy just to put in the computer and then print it and it was done. So he 3D printed test pieces and I had to make a few adjustments, a millimeter here and shit like that, like you have to do to get the right clearance. But we got it done. And then he machined some aluminum parts for me to match the finals. And that's another one where it's 80, 90% done and there it's sat for 5 years now or whatever. But you can still order or get the files, I think, if you want a scale drive line with the GCM scale drive line kit, Trailfinder 2 SWB. He won't print them. They're not machining any out of aluminum because there's no demand for it. Not enough people have them. But if you want one, you can go, I think, buy the files. They might be free, but you probably have to pay $5 for them or something. And print it up and get the shit, and you can scale drive line a short wheelbase. I'll get it for you guys so you can see it. It's pretty neat. It's tight. Driveline angles are like barely doable. Like it was almost impossible. And I've got a bunch of parts. Like I've got the firewall installed at this point. I've got a floor pan for it and all the interior parts from Pepe, rccrawler.it. But there it is, scale drive lined out. Servo fits up front just barely. So, but it all works. Where my shock seized up? Oh no, okay. So everything works. You got a long ass drive shaft in the front, typical. Tiny little shorty at like max angles in the back, but it works. And that's pretty much full extension. So full extension, I was able to get it. So it's crazy, but it's just enough to work. And then of course, once it compresses, it's nothing. Everything's phased right. Everything's got the matching. You know, I just built it like I would have built a real truck as far as all the angles and everything. So it was a fun little project. And this will get done someday. A big part of this one is all the body mods and work I got to do to it, which I fucking hate doing. So they always end up getting to this point and to the shelf for years. I gotta be in the right mood to do body work because I hate it. I can do it, but I hate it with passion. Sanding is like my least favorite thing in the world. But I guess, yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock. I need to eat some food and wind down and get to bed. So I guess if that's everything, we can call it for the evening. Next week, Chris doesn't know this yet, but next week we will have Tommy, who's on here tonight, Tommy Tyson, and Corey Allen from Georgia Rock Zombies. Those guys both are on to talk about their event coming up. This is Zombie Palooza coming up, right, Tommy? I believe in it's either in West Georgia or East Alabama. I can't remember. I haven't been to that one yet. I can't make it this year. I've got too much going on. But I know it's a popular, big fun event, so we'll have them on. Yes, West Georgia. Okay. That's what I thought. We'll have them on next week talking about the event, where you can get tickets, what they cost, how long it's going to be, where it's at, you know, what goes on, all that good shit. So next week should be a fun show because there'll be four of us on here joking around, fucking around, talking shit, and telling you about fun events to go to. So thanks, Bobby. Thanks, Chad. So everyone have a wonderful night, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Find the button now and stream later.